So in this video, I want to talk through this little bank of modules, these candy colored modules right here. These appeared in my Amazon experience earlier this year, and they've gone through a couple changes. They just recently updated these modules to change their behavior just a little bit, and I just want to talk through how they've evolved and some of the issues that I'm seeing. I've been using these guys as an example of something that I call masked modules. Basically modules that look the same, but then when you click into them, they're actually representing very different things. It's pretty much putting different substances all in the same packaging. Now, of course, they have different labels, they have different content, they even have different color coding to them, but still what they do have is they have the same shape, they have the same ratio, they have the same structure of a title in all caps that weirdly they all have 5 letters too. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but the same, kind of like the same length of the word even. Then they have a subtitle, and then they have an image graphic with a white background. So what these actually end up looking like is they end up looking like kind of birds of a feather, apples in a basket. They're all grouped together too. So with kind of general Gestalt principle, what the human brain is going to assume is that these are sort of different flavors of the same thing. And also what we're doing is as we're going through any environment, we're trying to label these things, name these things, figure out what are these things. This is what kids do when they're trying to learn to understand their environment, and this is what any human does as they're going into an environment and trying to sort of feel their way through it. Now, this is, of course, is all tacit. We're not saying, what should I name this thing? But our brain, when we can't name the thing, and we can't really quite figure out what it is, it's going to make us falter a little bit. So there's some weirdness going on here. That's for a different conversation. I'm not even going to talk about this. Let's just go through these modules and see what happens when I click on them. Now, one thing in particular that I want to go through is also what happens when I click on the heading versus what happens when I click on the graphic. Now, when this module first launched I think I first saw it in April or May of 2017, these were one big hotspot. They all went to the same place, whether you clicked the heading or you clicked the image. So I clicked all around to make sure of that. Now, some of them go to different places, but not all of them. And last time I checked was a few weeks ago, so this may have been updated even again. I can see that actually this video graphic or music looks a little bit different. It used to be actually like an album cover, and it used to kind of look like a cover flow where you could see a couple different albums on there, and now there's Carrie Underwood? Is that I don't know who that is. There's an artist in a circle. So I'm curious to see what'll happen when I click on her. So so earlier this year, these were all one hotspot, which they look like all one hotspot too, right? They're all encapsulated in this white background. Now you actually do go to different places. Now, if I got a little bit of a different hover, or if this this heading was separated and actually looked like a different thing, that would be okay. But what I'm not okay with is it going to 2 separate places when it really does look like the same thing. So let's click in and see what's behind all of these doors. So let's just start over here and let's click on Prime. Okay. Which is weird because I click on Prime and I see something for Alexa, and Alexa, oh my god, this is like an inception of things that I'm talking about. I mean, look, they're even doing it, like this was confusing here. This is, Alexa, stop. Let's call her Andrea for the video so Alexa doesn't continue to trigger. Okay, I'm not even going to talk about the paper towel roll. I mean, this is cute, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. You look at this thing and your brain goes, wait, is it 2 separate things? Oh no, it is a paper towel roll, and it's also a Andrea tower. And okay, in this context is cute, but because your brain, but they're playing off of the exact thing that I'm talking about here, is these two things look the same, but they're different. And our brain goes, what? Um, okay, so going back to the real question at hand. Okay, so as I scroll down this page, I would say that this is like a service detail, and it's talking about like different kind of sub-services within the whole, like Amazon Prime as a whole. Okay, so let's click back, and now let's click on the graphic here. Did I click on the right? Oh, it says Prime now. So now I'm also just did the kind of the same thing that it did before, where the first thing I saw was something that looked very much like something that should be Amazon Fresh. So I actually just thought I clicked on the wrong thing. But this is the Prime Now. So I'm also trying to figure out tacitly, now of course I'm explicitly talking through it, but what my brain is doing is it's trying to also figure out the relationships between these things. Is there Prime as a whole? Then there's Prime Now. And imagine if this is like somebody coming into the Amazon world for the first time. Seems crazy, but imagine a new user trying to figure out all this stuff, trying to figure out the difference between Prime and Prime Now, and they're maybe exploring these little modules and clicking through these things, and then Fresh. And Fresh, this is like, we have strawberries, but we have like a grocery bag. And I click on Prime Now, and I go to something, I go to a grocery store. So trying to figure out the relationships between all these things, is there any hierarchy here? These modules are not helping at all. Okay, now I'm in Prime Now, which if I had to label this, I might say this is like a store within Amazon of things that I can get right now. It's almost like the Walmart of Amazon. But I'm not sure how it's different than Fresh. So let's go back and let's click on Fresh, the heading. And now I go to something that is maybe like, it kind of looks like Instacart. Like this is sort of the grocery store of Amazon. And I have all the products, and I can actually click on stuff. So I have to get a free trial, but I'm already paying for Prime. So my brain is now saying like, how does that work? So how does Prime relate to Amazon Fresh? And how does that relate to, yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I've been using this since 2002, and I actually can't really articulate to you how all these things are working together. Okay, so moving on, let's click on the strawberry. Now, am I going to go to, now I learned over here, tacitly, okay, my sort of intuition now has learned that I'm going to go to different things. This is like the big thing, and this might be like a more specific thing within the thing. Am I going to go to like strawberries? Am I going to go to where I can buy strawberries? No, nothing about strawberries here. So this actually goes to the same place. So now this module is acting inconsistently with this module. Let's move on. So moving on to video. So now I'm not really sure what to expect, because when I clicked here, I got a little bit of like hierarchy between the two things. Here, it was all the same thing. Now I'm going to video, and what happens when I click on video, the heading, I don't think it's going to take me to Comrade Detective. I think it's going to take me to like a video page, which is what it does. But this is a different, I guess it's kind of like going, it's kind of actually like going here is kind of much more like going to Fresh. It's like I'm going to the video store. And here's the metaphor that I'm looking for, that I'm wishing Amazon would do, is there would be very clearly, now you're going into the grocery store section of Amazon, now you're going into the video store section of Amazon. So these would be like different stores. But the model is too fuzzy. It's not really working because Prime is more of I go to like a service, um, and then the relationships between Prime and Prime Now and Fresh are all fuzzy. Video, that's clear. Okay, I'm going to like the video store. And now when I click on Comrade Detective, I have no idea why this is recommended for me. Oh, that actually does seem kind of cool. So now I go to pretty much what I expected, where I can actually watch it. So, but let's see what happens with music. I'm really curious about this one. So, music. So, from what I've learned so far, if I had to guess, I would guess that music would take me to like the overall music world, with the music store, right? Um, and this would take me to this chick, Carrie Underwood, or Carrie Underwood lookalike. Or is she like Comrade Detective? Or is she like the strawberries? The strawberries are just a visual supporting the overall Fresh store. I don't know. I really don't know. So let's see. What do you think? Everybody make a guess right now. Is it going to go to Carrie Underwood / Carrie Underwood lookalike, or is it going to go to music? It goes to music. And did I click on the header yet? I don't think I clicked on the header yet. So it actually goes to Miley Cyrus. So I don't even, so if I actually wanted to know who that was, which I'm curious now because I feel like I should know who that is, I don't even see her. So let's click back, and I'm guessing that now music is going to go to that same place since Carrie, watch you go to Carrie Underwood. No, okay. So now here I am in that same place. So this module is actually acting much more like Fresh, inconsistent. And I can never, basically here, I can never know what to expect. Well, now let's go to Alexa. Ooh, this is a new one. Recent views. Oh, interesting. Okay, so if I go to Alexa, so let's click on Alexa at the high level first, and I go to, shut up, Alexa. She keeps hearing me. Andrea. So I click over here on Andrea, and I go to like the Andrea service page, which is a different page than Fresh, a different page than Prime. So again, like the navigation, I'm guessing this is navigation. The navigation changes. It's very much more of like a landing page. Now, I don't know if maybe this is different because Amazon knows that I have an Andrea. And if I didn't, then it would go to like the buy page. But I might want another one for the bathroom, huh? So I guess to go, and this is great, to go and actually buy the thing, I click on these little blue links, which I don't read. I didn't read that. This is just like stupid intro text, not reading it. How do I actually buy the thing? Huh. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is the only place to like actually go and buy it. Shopping? No, that would be actually to use Alexa to shop. Oh, I wonder how many people click on shopping to try to like buy the Alexa. Okay. Whoa, and then like the stuff above changes when you click on this below. This page is terrible. Okay. The navigation is sandwiched between the content. Oh, okay, so let's go back to the home and do that last one. Oh, no, we haven't clicked on the hockey puck yet. So clicking here, I honestly don't know. Ooh, Dr. Dre. What this is going to give me. Is it going to give me the hockey puck, or is it going to just go back to that service page? And there you have it. It looks like it goes back to the service page. So it acts different, it acts more like Fresh than video. Did they hear me? What? So this was the Carrie Underwood circle. Now it's like weirdly showing Dr. Dre. very ill-aligned. Um, this isn't even centered either. Is this going to take me to Dr. Dre 2001? I feel like it should, right? Oh, it did! This module is all over the place. I don't know what they're doing. And it opened up in a new tab. This is the first time anything's opened up in a new tab. Um, these guys are just literally all guesswork. They're even within the module, within the same session, the behavior of the thing is changing. So before, when I saw that girl and I clicked on her, I learned that it's not going to go. It's not going to go to the thing on the page. And then they're doing this cool thing where they actually are putting recommended albums in there that I can click on. But I've already learned, I've already sort of, I guess, subconsciously logged that clicking on that is not going to take me to the thing. I honestly, I wouldn't have clicked on it unless like I wasn't making this video and experimenting with it. I would have thought, oh yeah, it's not going to go there. Oh man, caught on video. Case in point there. Okay, so recent views now. So this I recently viewed that, and I've recently viewed Amazon Prime. It's one of these just pages. So view your browsing history. So what happens when I click on this one? So this is the case against sugar. Good old Gary Taubes. Okay, so it goes to the thing, which is great. And what happens when I go to recent views? So it goes to products that I've recently viewed. This is what I expected, that it would go to like my history, I guess. I'm curious because it shows Amazon Prime. So actually the things that are showing in here are only slightly different than the things that's actually showing in my browsing history. So why is Amazon Prime showing? Like if I click on this, is it going to go to the Amazon Prime page? It does. So weird. So I guess the thesis of this rant is that as I'm clicking through one of these, I'm learning about all of them. I'm going to apply those learnings. It's just like when a baby is learning how to use a bottle, and then you give them a different bottle, and they kind of already know how to use it because they're going to apply what they know. It's going to look kind of the same, might be a different color, might be like a slightly different shape, might have different stuff inside of it, but they're going to try to use it the same way. Same way anything in the world. I know I encounter a chair that I've never seen before, and I still kind of know how to use it because I know how to use a chair. So as I'm learning how to interact with this thing, first of all, I want to be able to give it some sort of name or a metaphor instead of this like cloudy like service store product-y grouping thing. That's all messed up for me here because it's different. Can't really put my finger on it. So as I'm learning how to interact with the first one, I'm going to apply those learnings to everything else. And when the expectations are different, I've set expectations about what it's like to interact with one of these things. And then I go and I take those expectations very subconsciously, take those expectations to the next module, and it's not what I expect. There's going to be a little bit of confusion. There's going to be a little bit of a feeling of feeling tricked, maybe even. And it's not going to be intuitive. So that is my issue with these very cute, colorful modules here and why I think they're absolutely terrible.